Alright, hey team, we've just finished scrubbing up the mai, so with opening weekend round the corner, we thought we'd just have a wee chat about duck calls and how we call, what calls we use and when we use them, especially for those younger generation starting to call this season, or anyone getting into it. My advice would be pick up a caller and just give it a go. The old age saying of practice makes perfect, eh?
Yeah.
That's
how everyone learns anyway.
Yeah, a little bit, feels a little bit awkward at the start, but pick up that caller, give it a go, and give it some practice.
How to call, the basics of it. So when you want to call, what you want to do is you want to use pressurised air. So the main thing, if you're just blowing into the call, you'll still get the same sound, but you won't be able to run the notes the same way. So if I just blow straight into it, that's what comes out. But when I blow from my chest, almost close my mouth and use my tongue as a valve with pressurised air, so it's a that's how you cut your notes off. So when I blow, and you don't run out of air. When you start blowing into it, you only get a few calls out and then you're out of puff. So the main thing is to blow from your chest. Pressurised air, you don't have to use as much air. So you put your call in your mouth, almost closed mouth, like you're about to take a drink, and use the pressurised air, blowing from your chest, and close your tongue as a valve. And you can go on like that for ages.
Nice. What's yeah, that's awesome, man. What's a couple of tips of when to call?
So when to, probably everyone's got their different theories, but I believe the best way is just to call it their ass. If a duck's going away from you, that's when it needs a persuasion. So you need to be calling at a duck that's leaving, and then it's a totally different ball game for when the duck's coming into you. So you need to cut back. If you're blasting a call at a duck coming that is committing to you anyway, you've got a chance of putting them off, especially if they've been called out all day and they're a bit timid. You don't want that duck getting blasted and then start flaring. And you've got to read your duck as it's coming in. So if you've got ducks coming in and you start calling and you notice them flaring, stop. Get into smaller calls like drake whistle, or just little chuckles. So you got your chuckles and your feedings. So your chuckles more like a and then your feeding calls more slower, so you do little ones. So more, slow them down a wee bit. Your fast ones are more your chuckles. That's what you get when they're flying past. Yeah, so.
What about if you've got some hybrids you want to call down?
Yeah, so hybrids, you've got to judge it whether how high they are, because if you're flying in a V, they're obviously too high and you may or you may not persuade them down. So if they're, say, if you see like a bunch of ducks flying over top, like, because we're out on the river here, if we've got ducks coming up the river and they're sort of in a wee bunch, then you can blast them with a call and sometimes get them down. But if you're in a V or in a line, you're not going to get them down. They already know where they're going, so yeah. But the call for that would be just a big. So that's a hail call, that one. And then the other call we use, which is probably the most important one, is your comeback call. So this is when the ducks, they come and start circling, and then they're heading in the opposite direction, like especially our other ponds, and they start heading down to those other ponds. You give them a and most of the time they'll start spinning around. Once they start spinning around, you come a bit faster. So once they start heading away, and usually you've got their attention, and then just little quacks as they're coming past, and that's pretty good for like a duck coming over. Just yeah, if he's not directly in you and just flying past, just and that usually gets their attention. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a few good calls to think about. And as we said, just if you're getting into it this season, then pick it up, give it a go. It's the best thing you can do, and lots of practice.
Yeah.
Multiple calls as well. Once you're comfortable, seems to work really well for us. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely during the day, if there's not much happening, just call. Just call. It's the only way you're going to learn. You can call at home, call while you're driving.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the day, if there's not many ducks around, you're worried about putting ducks off or someone's giving you a bit of stick. There's no problem with calling during the day. Just do it. Yeah, it's the only way you're going to learn. People learn how to play guitar. It takes years. So it's sort of a duck shooter's instrument, you could say.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a key instrument.
Yeah. There's already one coming in.
There is too.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go, team. Well, hopefully that helps for anyone out there, and that's just the way we do it. But yep, hopefully you have an enjoyable season. Enjoy the time with your family and friends, and be safe.
Yeah.